Where are you guys all joining from? I'm here in LA, of course. It's a beautiful Saturday. Weather is perfect. Where are you guys? And what time is it? It's almost 12:30 p.m. Hi, Brazil. Hey, Romania, South Carolina. Hi, Germany. Hi, New Zealand. Hi, Turkey. If you have any questions, please ask. Love to answer whatever I can and maybe put a couple of you on. Moonwalker MJJG. Yes, I live in Los Angeles. I've lived here for about 30 years. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., where the White House and all of that stuff is. I grew up there, but I moved here when I was about 18 or 19. Hi from India, Swap. Hello. Salty Breeze. What do I think of Sunset Driver? I can't remember it right now, but I remember liking it. Yeah, I think I like it. God, I will answer your prayers. Can you play 7 Digits and Don't Believe It and Son of Thriller? I can't really play it, especially not right now. I don't have, the audio system with me, but those are some good songs. 7 Digits. I'll explain 7 Digits to you because I get so many questions about these demos that I have of Michael's. So 7 Digits is a cassette tape, and it's about, I'd say 30 minutes long. So it's basically Michael writing the song. So there's like several different versions of 7 Digits on the cassette that I have. And he's like, playing around with the lyrics and the melody and just kind of like doing it over and over again until he really gets the feel for how he wants the song to sound. Don't Believe It is one of my favorites. That's a great song too. You don't really hear too much about it, but I love it. Son of Thriller is really more like, it's more of an instrumental. It's like a mix of like a lot of Michael's hit songs put together in a new way. It's really cool and it really hits hard. All of those songs could have been hits on his album. So I was really disappointed when they didn't put those songs on Dangerous. I was fully expecting all of those songs to be a part of the Dangerous album, but Michael went in another direction and used, I guess, a lot of Teddy Riley's songs, which are great as well. I mean, Dangerous is my favorite album of all time by Michael, so I'm not complaining at all. But yeah, but he had a lot of good songs that weren't used. Have I heard Men in Black? Yes. I thought I had, I think it's called Man in Black, actually. Man in Black. I remember the chorus. Yeah, I thought I had that on cassette somewhere, but I have it. And I remember, I'll never forget, I heard the song, and then I asked Michael if he had heard that there was a movie coming out called Men in Black, because he wrote the song before that movie came out. And I asked him, I said, did you hear that there was a movie coming out called Men in Black? I know you wrote this song called Man in Black. And he had heard that it was coming out. But yeah, I was hoping that song could be like the theme song for that movie, but I guess he never finished it. Hi, Champagne Life 76. Ciao. Hi, Ruby Grace. Delphi Acosta 06. What is my favorite song from Michael Jackson? Give In to Me. That's like, people are always just surprised when I say Give In to Me because it's not like a common song that people pick, but yeah, I like Michael's like sexy, rocky type of songs. So Give In to Me, In the Closet too. I love In the Closet. And Dirty Diana was always one of my favorites. What else? Give In to Me is like my all-time favorite, but all of his songs are great, so I can't pick any others off the top of my head because most of them are great. There's some I don't like, but most of them I like. Probably easier for me to say which ones I don't like because there's so few of them, but there are a few I just really don't like. Thank you, Felipe Mendez. I don't look 50. Thank you. Yeah, I turned 50 a month ago, July 1st. Today's August 1st. Oh my God. So this is Michael's birthday month. Hey, so we're starting the month off right? So yeah, a month ago I turned 50. I honestly, I never thought that I would be 50. You know, it just, 50 does sound old, I'll admit. Because when I was 30, thinking of 50, that was just like, seemed ancient. But now that I am, I don't feel any different than I did when I was 30. So don't worry, if you're not 50 yet, don't get nervous about it, because it's not so bad, you know. Was Michael an easygoing person? Salty breeze. He was, in like real life, he was like really easy to work with and get along with, because he liked to have fun. But I was fortunate enough to see his business side too, because I worked for his manager. So his managers probably would say he wasn't so easygoing. You know, he was a superstar, and it's not easy managing a superstar. And he was demanding, and he knew exactly what he wanted. And if he didn't get that, he wasn't happy. So in that way, he was not easygoing. He's a Virgo, so he was very detail oriented and very business minded, very serious when it came to business. The other Michael, you know, that I had fun with on the set of Ghosts and, you know, in other periods, that was a completely different personality. So with Michael, you know, he had several different personalities, and sometimes you didn't know which one you were going to get. So did Michael like to sneak up behind people and scare them? Swaggy Thriller Girl? Yeah, he just liked to play practical jokes in general. That's why we had fun, because every day was like a new joke that either I was playing on him, or he was playing on me, or we were playing on the kids. One of them, I mentioned yesterday in my live that on the last day, Michael had this ritual where on the last day of all of his short films, he would just like go crazy with the practical jokes and stuff. And he would always set off stink bombs on the set. And so my lasting memory of Ghosts, the smell, was the smell of the last day, which was the smell of these stink bombs that Michael had set off. And I don't know how stink bombs work. I guess you place them somewhere and they just emit a smell, and it smells sort of like rotten eggs or freedom. I don't know if you've read my book, if you watched my YouTube videos, but Michael had a nickname for a certain bodily function, and it was freedom. If you don't know what that means, check out my book or go to my YouTube. I have a video on there about it. It was hilarious. Why are y'all so obsessed with MJ passing gas? Is that what you guys? Why do you want to know? So is that one of the questions? If I have ever heard Michael pass gas? Oh my God. Well, you know, I do have a story about that, and I forgot to put it in my book. I would have if I had remembered, because it's kind of funny. One time when we were doing Ghosts, and Michael was dressed as the mayor, you know, we had to stand very close to each other when we were in those scenes. It would be like me and him, and the kids would be like in front. And so one time I smelled something and then the kids started smelling it. And one of the kids was like, who, you know, passed gas? And then I looked back at Michael, who was the mayor, and he was like, what? It wasn't me. I promise it wasn't me. I said, it was you. It was him. But, you know, he pretended like it wasn't him. But it was really funny because, you know, he couldn't even lie very well. You know, I knew it was him. And the kids just all like started giggling. But so there's your answer. But, you know, he was just so down to earth. It was like, it wasn't even like a big deal. It was, you know, it was just, it's normal and natural. And he was embarrassed, but he tried to play it off like it wasn't him. But we knew it was him. We knew it was that old stinky mayor. He tried to, you know, act different when he was the mayor because he had on a suit and all that. And he probably thought he could like pass it off because he had that big thick suit on. But no, we smelled it. And, you know, we teased him about it. But that was part of the fun of it. J5 Lover, how did I get a hold of so much rare stuff of Michael's? It's awesome. Wow, just a combination of things. I've just always never thrown anything away, and I've been like a very serious collector of just everything, not just Michael, but just like everything entertainment since I was a child, since the 70s. So I just never threw any of that stuff away. So like as far as the Michael Jackson stuff, I started just saving and collecting everything since the Jackson 5 days, since I was like 5. So not only do I have that stuff, but then when I started working with him for his management, I got all of the stuff that he released prior to him releasing it. I received everything before the public did. So I was able to get a lot of rare things. Sometimes, you know, they were going to release something and they didn't, but I would still have the stuff that they didn't release. So most of the stuff is a combination of that, and I'm happy to have it, and I really wanted to share it with the fans, and I had no idea that it would be like so much drama. Every time I share stuff that's unseen, I mean, it's just the haters come out of the woodworks, and I don't, what's that to hate, you know? I'm trying to share things, and I don't, it's just, it's really frustrating, you know, and not really easy to understand the mindset of some people. I'm just here to have fun and be nice and kind to everyone, and I don't like drama. In real life, I never even like argue with people. I'm just very, you know, my personality is very calm all the time, and I wish that's how the internet was, you know. Can we just laugh and have fun? Why can't we do that? Kay Disley, what do I think Michael would say about or think about my book? Well, he definitely would not have wanted me to, while he was alive, write a book about him. He was just very secretive. He didn't even like people just talking about him in interviews and things like that. So I don't think he would have wanted me to do it while he was alive, but now that he's not here, I think he's happy I did it, because I can feel his energy a lot. I get a lot of signs too. And I know that because of all the terrible things that have been said about him, that he would have wanted me to come out and write the truth about what I know about him, the real man. And so I really think he would be happy with it now, after all that's happened. And sometimes, you know, you just have to go with your heart, and that's what I did, even though, you know, I knew it was something that he wouldn't have wanted me to do while he was alive. I had to ask the universe, like, what should I do? I couldn't just sit back anymore and let all of these false stories circulate about him without me telling my side and what I knew of him that could perhaps change some minds about him, maybe make people not think of him as you know, wacko jacko or whatever, because the Michael I knew was not that. He was just a normal guy who I loved, like I was in love with, and it wasn't that hard to love him, because he was just so amazing. Doodle Applehead, what's your zodiac sign? I'm a Cancer. I was born July 1st. Me and Princess Diana were born on the same day. Yes, I am wearing a peace sign shirt. Carney. Hi, Scotland. Stephen in Scotland. That's cool. What time is it in Scotland? Hi, Miss Princess 1997. I love you. Bad Gal. Is it Bad Gal Elit? Or Bad Gal Lit? What is Michael's most used word? Gosh, love, maybe. I love you, and magic. He always said magic, and he was always saying, you know, I love you, and he was all about love, seriously. So when I see some of his fans not be about love, I just don't understand it, because that's all Michael was about, is love. He spread it everywhere, and when you were around him, you could feel it. And I think that's one of the things that made him so dynamic and unique, because you could feel his energy, and it was positive energy, you know. And people just always wanted to be around him because of that. Did Michael ever flirt with me? Yeah. Like every time we were together, that's all we did was flirt with each other. That's why it was so much fun, you know. And Michael was like a professional flirt. Like, he was so good at it. You could say something and he would somehow turn it around to be flirty when he would say it back, you know? So he was someone that I love spending time with, because he always made me feel good about myself. You know, he made me feel like he, you know, really loved me. And just the way he would just gush, you know, like you just knew that he was admiring you. And most people, I guess guys do that, but it's only a nice feeling when you like the guy back. You know, if it's some guy you don't like and they're doing that, it's kind of like you don't want that to happen. But if you really like them and they're acting that way, it's just magic. Yeah, Michael was a huge flirt, huge. I remember one of the early days, was it when we did Is This Scary? No, I think it was Ghosts. For some reason, I was in like my normal street clothes. I wasn't in that outfit from Ghosts. And I had on black jeans, black tight jeans. I'll never forget it. And Michael was sitting with Stan Winston, the director of Ghosts, like watching the playback. And for some reason, it was just Michael, Stan, and me. And I had to like walk in front of Michael where he was sitting. And he was and Stan was like showing him stuff that they had filmed, trying to, you know, get him to focus on what they had filmed, and they were watching the playbacks. And I walked in front of Michael, and I'd stuck to myself, you know, let me look back and see if he's looking at me, because I had on these tight jeans. And I looked back, and he was staring, you know, at my behind. And I caught him because I looked back, and all he could do was start giggling, and I started giggling. And Stan Winston didn't even realize that any of this was going on. He was like still trying to like show Michael what was going on, but Michael and I were like there like giggling with each other, and you know, because I had caught him. And so that was one of the first indications that I knew, you know, the feeling was mutual. I mean, I knew it years before that, but when we did Ghosts, I hadn't seen him much since, or at all maybe, since he had gotten a divorce, his divorce from Lisa Marie Presley. So Ghosts was sort of like our reunion. And so when I saw him do that, you know, I knew. So that, if you ever thought he was gay or didn't like women or whatever, trust, he did. Little things like that. You know, gay guys who don't like women, they don't do that kind of stuff. So I knew from that moment, and prior to that, of course, but it was little things like that that, you know, gave me hope for us. And thankfully, I was right. What emotion did I feel when I met Michael in 2003? That wasn't the last time I saw him. That was the last time I saw him at Neverland. Last time I saw Michael was New Year's Eve going into 2007. That was the last time. And I don't really want to get into that today, because it's just really emotional. Whenever I start talking about it, I start crying, and I can't even help it. But I'm really glad I was able to spend that time with him before he passed away. I was supposed to spend more time with him the week he passed away, but you know, I didn't get to him in time. But yeah, spending those moments with him in Las Vegas in 2000, New Year's Eve, those were very special moments, and I'm really happy. And he was, you know, back to old Michael. He was himself. First thing he said when he saw me, because I hadn't seen him in a few years. Since his trial, I hadn't seen him. He had just gotten back from Bahrain after the whole trial thing, and I didn't even know he had moved to Las Vegas. And I had moved to Las Vegas because I was David Copperfield's assistant. I actually lived at the MGM Grand in Vegas. That was my home. And so he came to our show, and when, you know, he saw me, he said, "Wow, you haven't aged one day. You still look good." And so, you know, that's what you want to hear, you know, from someone that you haven't seen in a while and that you really, you know, you used to really like. So he knew all the right things to say, but he looked good too. And I told him, I said, "You look good too," and he did. And so I was hoping he was on the right track, you know, at that time, because it seemed like he was. But, you know, I guess things just weren't meant to be. Lithuania, hello. Thank you, No Name Kathy. Salty Breeze, do I think the MJ Estate will release new music? They said that they weren't. They said they were going to focus on just his hit songs that are known and not deal with trying to, finish the songs that he has available to release. Which, I understand why they wouldn't want to, because I guess they're all about money. As fans, we all want to hear the songs, but they want to make money. They're a corporation, huge corporation, so money is their bottom line. And I guess the albums that they did release after Michael passed away didn't sell all that well, so, they're focusing on the hits. Denise, can you get my book in Europe? Yes, it's on Amazon. You can totally go to Amazon and get it. It's there. No Name Kathy, did Michael ever have a smartphone, iPhone? Yes. In his last year of life, at least, he was texting people like all the time. It was, he was texting. He had a cell phone. I remember he had a Mac laptop and an iPhone. So, yep. And he also was on Facebook. I don't know if he had an account, but he was definitely on there, looking around, and MySpace too. So, if you were on Facebook and MySpace back in 2009, who knows? Maybe you talked to Michael and you didn't know it. At Dobbs 10, how many times have I seen Michael in concert? God, a lot. For the Bad Tour, I saw that probably over 10 times, because I saw it in Washington, D.C. area, and he was there like 4 or 5 times, something crazy like that. New York, I saw him, and L.A. I went to all the shows in L.A., all the shows in the D.C. area, and one show in New York. So it's about 10 times. And let me tell you, that second leg of the Bad Tour is the best. The first leg, which is the one I saw in New York when I met him for the first time, it wasn't, it was good, but it wasn't anything compared to that second leg, which is when he came back to the United States. And LA was the best show. I wish they would release that. I hope that we did I signed a petition for the Bad Tour to be released in HD. So hopefully that's going okay. Jason, can I talk about Michael's mentality on dealing with the world and work ethic? His work ethic was something that was, it was quite a sight to behold. He had the most amazing work ethic I've ever seen. There's a reason why he's a superstar, or he was a superstar and was the most talented and loved entertainer of all time for a long time. He worked hard for it. He rehearsed. When we did Ghosts, and I keep saying that because these are great examples of how he was. His call time was like 5 a.m. every day. And I didn't have to get there until like 8, because he had to get there early because he had to get dressed up as the mayor, and that took about 3 hours. And he would stay there until like midnight, and he never wanted to leave that set. His mother had to start coming to the set to pull him away so that he could get some sleep, so that he could get back up the next morning at 5 a.m. to, come back. But if he could, he would have just slept on that set and never went home. That's how dedicated he was to that project, and I'm sure to every project that he worked on. When he was recording his records, he was the same way. He would just like sleep at the studio sometime and never even go to sleep until he finished. So yeah, his work ethic, it was phenomenal. It really was. Rat's Baby, am I going to release any more rare footage? We'll see. We'll see if I can figure out a way to stop the sabotage that goes on every time I release something. You have no idea. Even when I'm booked for, even when I'm booked for just a podcast interview or something like that, the certain haters who also sabotage my YouTube, they message whoever is going to interview me to tell them not to interview me and to not support me. So it's just really frustrating, and that's illegal for them to do that. You can't do that. You can't defame someone or keep them from work, things like that. It's all illegal. So you know, my lawyer is involved, and I hope it can be worked out, because it's just so sickening to have to always deal with this kind of dark cloud of negativity when I'm just trying to, you know, be positive. So, hi Pittsburgh. I'm from Washington, D.C., so I'm from the East Coast like you. Gemma, did Michael prefer Thai green curry or Thai red curry? I don't know, but he liked he loved Indian food because he loved spicy things. So his favorite thing was the wings, the tandoori wings. There used to be there probably still is an Indian restaurant right next to Record One where he recorded Dangerous and Invincible. And he used to get these wings from there for lunch, like a lot. It's these hot tandoori wings. So yeah, Indian food was one of his favorites. Denmark, hello. I visited Norway in 2009, and I love that area, the Scandinavian area. I miss it. It's just so beautiful there. I love Denmark, Norway, that whole area. What's my favorite memory with Michael? So much, but the first time I met him will always stand out in my mind because it was just so magical, and I was young, and when you're young, everything's even like more exciting. So yeah, I met him after Madison Square Garden show for Bad in 1988, and met him in his hotel room. He was having a party, and you can read all about that. I provide a free chapter, and that's the chapter where I'm telling about that first time I met him in New York. It's on my website, shanamangatal.com or michaelmebook.com, and if you go to sneak peek or sneak preview, there's the whole free chapter there. You just click on it and read the whole thing about my first time that I met him. No, Natalia, I don't have a husband. Asha, did I have to sign an NDA when I received stuff? I didn't sign one when I received stuff. The only time I had to sign a contract with Michael as far as privacy was when I did his short films, when I went on tour with him, when I went to rehearsal, when I went to Neverland. So basically, anytime I was gonna, I guess, see things that the public hadn't seen yet, or if I was at Neverland. Every time you went to Neverland, you had to sign something saying you weren't going to take pictures, and that you weren't going to talk about what you did at Neverland. And if they saw you like take out a camera, someone somewhere would like instantly see it, and suddenly someone would be right there, security, to tell you to put your camera away. It was kind of like scary because like you knew you were being watched at all times. And you were, because there were cameras everywhere. So you really couldn't do anything without someone seeing it. So. Curtis Baldwin, do I love West Coast rappers? Sure. Ice Cube and The Game. The Game is my favorite, one of my favorite rappers. So I'm not like that big into rap, but the Game's first album, I still have that in my car and I blast it. Michael loved that album too. Let's talk about Fresh Prince. How did that come about? I was cast. Actually, it was like a rush call. A rush call is when they need somebody that they didn't cast and they need you at the last minute. So my agent called me like at the last minute and said, "Can you get down to the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? They need someone, who looks like you. Are you available?" I was like, "Yes, I'm available. I'll go." So like with like no notice, I went that same day to the set. And I think they were already like rehearsing for that week's show, and they wanted the casting directors to see me. Even though I didn't have lines, it was like I had to be cast because it was a certain look that they were looking for. And the casting director saw me, and he said, "Oh, you're great. Can you wear this outfit?" And it was like this little skimpy thing. I was really shy back then. I still am about like wearing stuff that's skimpy in public. But back then I was even worse, and he held up this thing. It was like, "Can you fit into this? Can you wear this?" I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And so all week, we were rehearsing, and I had on this little skimpy outfit.
I had backstage passes, so it shouldn't be too hard to find them.
Well, let's hurry up. This is weird. I mean, can you believe how these kids dress? It's beginning to get to me. Excuse me a moment, I just need...
Alfonso Ribeiro, he was relentless with his flirting with me. And, you know, and if it were now, I would have just said, stop that. But back then I was so nice. I didn't want to like ruffle any feathers. So I just let him just keep, you know, flirting with me. Now it would be called harassment, but back then it was just flirting. But Will Smith saw how uncomfortable I was and just how relentless he was. And Will became my bodyguard that whole week. I'll love Will Smith forever because of my experience with him on Fresh Prince that first season. He offered to let me sit in his dressing rooms so that I could get away from Alfonso and so that I could, you know, change privately. So he, you know, I used his dressing room. And also Karen Parsons was also just amazing. I loved her. She played Hillary. So yeah, it was wonderful working with Will Smith. He was a nice guy, and I'm sure he still is. Did Michael ever talk about death and had an idea what to expect after death? He didn't really talk to me about death. I mean, you know, we did that scene in Ghost where he's dead. And so I was standing next to him as he was watching himself dead on the ground. They had a dummy made up to look just like Michael. And so there was this dummy laying in front of us. And it was Michael dead. And it really looked like him. So when they laid that dummy there, it was really surreal. And I looked at Michael and he was just staring at it. And I knew it you know, it hit him that, wow, you know, this is what it's going to look like when I die. And I remember staring at it, and I didn't know what to say to him because he was standing there and it was just, you know, silence. And it was so awkward. And so I said, "Oh, Michael, you're dead." And I instantly regretted it because I thought, you know, I could make him laugh in that moment. But no, he was like really focused on it. And he looked at me and he didn't say anything. He didn't laugh because it usually was easy to make Michael laugh. But not that time. He didn't laugh or say anything, and I just felt really stupid for saying that. But you know, I didn't know. I had to say something because it was just really awkward and sad. You know, I was really blown away by it. And then when the scene started, the director started walking us through the emotions. And here's Michael standing right next to me, and Stan Winston is saying, you know, imagine that your friend Michael is gone. And you're never going to see him again. You're never going to hear him call your name. You're never going to be able to laugh with him. You know, imagine that. And those are the emotions that that the director wanted to get out of us. And he did a great job because a lot of us were crying or had tears in our eyes. And it really felt like we were experiencing Michael's death. And yet Michael was standing right next to me. So it was really surreal. And I started crying, not crying, but a tear came down my face, and Michael like reached over and wiped the tear from my face and said, you know, I'm right here, because he saw that it really affected me. But that's the beauty of acting, especially when you have a good director. That's what a good director does. He's able to pull the emotions out of his actors just by explaining the scenario of the scene. And Stan Winston was great at that. Have I ever seen Michael mad, Felipe? Yeah, you know, because I went through a lot of times with him that were very difficult for him. The whole 1993 Geordie Chandler thing, I was there, you know, when he learned that it was going to go public. We were filming another video, Is This Scary, at the time, and we were on the set. And when we first started, the first couple of days, he was happy-go-lucky Michael, normal Michael. And then, like, the next day when he came, I sensed a change. There was like a sadness in his eyes, and he just wasn't really all there. And I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. And then he just started not coming to the set. He started calling in sick. And we were all worried because we knew that Michael, that wasn't like Michael. Michael was very professional. He would not come to the set, you know. But he started calling in sick, and then he showed up again on August 17th. I'll never forget the day because it was the last time I saw him before he left to go on the second leg of the Dangerous tour. And come to find out, August 17th was the day that Jordy Chandler had his interview with the police. And that was the day that Michael knew for sure that this was gonna just blow up and go public. But that was the last time I saw him, you know, before it all blew up. And I remember his doctor was there on set with him, Arnie Klein. And I asked him if Michael was okay. And he said, yeah, Michael's in a good mood today. He's okay. So that made me feel better, but at the same time, I was wondering, why does he need his doctor on the set with him? You know, I knew something strange was going on, and there was. He really wasn't doing well. When he went on tour, you know, I'd speak to him, and he just did not sound good at all. Yes, I've met Michael's children. They actually came and visited us, as I said earlier, on New Year's Eve going into 2007 when I was with David Copperfield. He brought all three of his kids and introduced me to them. And he seemed really proud, you know, to introduce me, because the last time I knew Michael, he wasn't a father. He was just, you know, a young guy playing practical jokes on people. So it was really interesting to see him in that father role. It was hard to imagine him as a father. I'm like, you know, in my mind I was thinking, you're a father? You know, you need parents. You're just as silly as they are. I can't believe you're a dad. It was really touching to see, though, because he was very proud of them, and they were very, they listened to everything that he said, you know, because he was very strict with them. He made sure they said thank you and please, and if they didn't, they could not move on to the next thing until they said thank you. Because I gave them a lot of gifts from David Copperfield, like a program and a little stuffed duck. I gave each child their own, and he made each of them tell me thank you, and it was really sweet. And I remember when David Copperfield came backstage where we all were, and I had given them all programs, and Blanket, now BG, but back then Blanket, had his program in his hand. So David went and signed each child's program, and then when he asked each one what their name was so that he could personalize the signature. And when he got to Blanket, he said, and what's your name? This is David talking to Blanket. And Blanket would not say a word. He was just quiet, silent, wouldn't say anything. And he looked up at Michael. And Michael said, it's okay, you can tell the man your name. Because I guess Blanket had been, you know, trained by Michael not to speak to strangers and not to, you know, telling one what his name was. And he listened. And he was young, like maybe, I don't know, 6 at the most. Maybe 4. He might have been 4 at that time, 2007. So he listened, and then Michael told him it was okay, and then he said, my name is Blanket. It was just the cutest thing. And Paris was adorable. She was so outgoing and friendly and had the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. And all of them, all the kids, and Prince was a genius even at that age. He was like, I knew he was going to be a brilliant adult, because even at that young age he was really intelligent. He had broken down one of the magic tricks after it was over, and they came backstage after the show, and Prince had figured it all out. But it was all scientific for him, because he was really into science and stuff at that time. And of course he was wrong. It wasn't how David Copperfield had done the trick at all, but in his mind he knew exactly how it was done. And Michael was just laughing. You know, we were just giggling. Michael looked at me and we giggled. And another funny thing that happened backstage that time in New Year's Eve, Michael and I, the first thing Michael wanted to talk about was ghosts. He always wanted to talk about ghosts whenever I saw him. And our last conversation was about ghosts. And so we were talking and laughing, and he was reminiscing on, you know, some of the practical jokes we had done and things like that. And so just as we had done on the set of Ghosts, when we start talking, we start talking loud and laughing loud, and we didn't even realize people were around. And this happened that last time that we were together in Vegas, and so he asked me to take him to the bathroom, and so I was like, yeah, sure, come on, and so I was leading him to the bathroom, David Copperfield's like private bathroom backstage, and we were just laughing and not even like aware of what else was going on. And then all of a sudden, his bodyguard yelled at us, just like Stan Winston had yelled at us on the set when we were too loud while we were filming Ghosts. Michael's bodyguard, his name was Bashir, said, "Stop, nobody goes anywhere until I say it's okay." And this is, the bodyguard telling Michael this. And Michael looked at me and just started giggling. That's how he reacted to being yelled at. Every time, in fact, whenever someone else was being yelled at, or if he was being yelled at, his reaction was to just start giggling uncontrollably. And, when I think back on it, I think that maybe that has something to do with his childhood and, the abusive childhood that he endured. I guess the easiest way for him to deal with authority like that, it was to just giggle. And even as an adult and a father of 3, he was still that little boy who didn't really know how to react to being yelled at. But anyway, but Michael told Bashir, the bodyguard, it's okay, we're fine, so then he backed off and chilled out, and then I took him to the bathroom. Shop and Coop and Cumin. Did I ever meet Frank DeLeo and Miko Brando? Yes. Yeah, totally. Miko was very kind to me. He actually had set me up with one of his friends, Nate Giorgio, who was Michael's artist. Michael commissioned a lot of artwork, and Nate Giorgio is the one who did it. And Miko tried to be matchmaker and set us up on a date. And actually I went with Nate Giorgio to Dr. Stephen Hoffman's wedding, which was at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and Stephen Hoffman was Michael's plastic surgeon. So it's all like a small world. And Frank DeLeo, I actually saw him at Michael's memorial at Staples Center, and he was just walking around in a daze. And then he passed away not long after that. But I had met Frank before, during the Bad Tour days. Aaliyah, what's my favorite short film of Michael's aside from Ghosts? Gosh, Come Together. Yeah, Come Together. I love Come Together. Swap. Shana, if you're still single, then you're ready to mingle with me. How old are you? I would like to find someone. During this pandemic, you realize how lonely it really is. So it would be nice to finally not be single, because I've been single a very, very, very long time. You would be shocked. Carney, oh, that's so sweet. I wish I could hug you too. I would love to just have a fan gathering where I could meet everyone. I've never really done that. I did it once in 2016, but that's the only fan event I've ever attended. Shoop and Cumin, what song from Michael made me cry? Gosh, so many, really. I love Someone in the Dark. The lyrics really speak to me. I love that song. It's so beautiful. Hello, Ireland. Yes, Michael did love Ireland. Hi, Reggie Monk. Hello. Did he ever invite me to his house, Queen Victoria? Yeah, I've been to Neverland a few times. Ronnie, will my book be translated into Portuguese? I sure hope so. I have so many great supportive friends in Brazil. I would love for you guys to be able to read it in Portuguese. Have I met Bruce Swedien? Yeah, I've met Bruce. I worked on Michael's tours, History and Dangerous, and both of his albums. So throughout that, I met them all. Teddy Riley, we were friends, and everybody. Did I ever meet LaToya or Janet? Yeah, I did. I love LaToya. I've met both of them a lot. a lot. Okay. That question. Okay, I'm trying to bring someone on, but it's not working. Okay, Swaggy Thriller Girl 26, you're on. You asked for it.
Hey!
Hi! So nice.
Oh my
to see
gosh!
what you look like.
Yeah, it's great, right?
You're so cute. Where
Thanks.
are
Turn
you?
around so you can see me better. I'm actually from I'm from Oklahoma. I'm in Jinx right now, but I'm actually from Fort Gibson, and this is my grandparents' house right now. But I've got my calendar back here. You can see Michael on the calendar back there.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan. I got
How old are you?
little Michael. I am I'm 21.
Oh, cool. You look
Yes.
young. You could
Thank
pass
you.
You could pass for like 14.
Yeah, I mean, I act like it. I'm a child on the inside.
That's good. So you'll stay young forever.
I hope so. I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Michael, and so I know that you've been like talking with people, and I've also been like messaging you in the direct messages. So my question for you is, I think you might have answered this one already, but so you said that Michael liked tap dancing, right?
Sure, yeah. With Fred Astaire.
So,
Fred Astaire was his favorite.
Yeah. So, like, was there like a specific, like, did he ever do it around you, or was it just like random, or like what?
No, he never specifically tap danced. You know, I did short films with him where he was dancing, so I witnessed him doing a lot of dancing, and but not specifically tap dancing.
Yeah.
But, you know that Fred Astaire was like his idol, and Gene Kelly. Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire were like his main dance idols, so that was his thing, tap dancing and just the elegance of their dance movements.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn myself, but like I'm not very good.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, I got my T-shirt on. You can see it's black or white.
Cool.
Michael. Yeah.
Love it.
But yes, my favorite song of Michael's is "The Way You Make Me Feel." I love that song.
Really?
Yeah,
yes. It's a cool song, especially in concert. So much fun.
I love it.
Come on, girl. Yeah, sing it. Sing it to us.
Oh, you want me to sing it? Hey, pretty baby with the high heels on. You give me fever like I've never ever known. You're just a product of loveliness. I like the groove of your walk, your talk, your dress. I feel your fever from miles around. Pick you up in my car and we'll beat the town.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well, it was nice meeting you. I hope to speak to you next
time too.
Please keep in touch in my DMs. It was
all right,
so nice
I will.
to put a face to the name. That's why I love
Yes. All right.
Okay, I
Thank
love
you so much. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, she's so cute. I love that. She's awesome. Michael has so many talented fans. Let me tell you, from the ones who can draw really well to the ones who can sing and dance. Oh my God, I love seeing it. I love seeing young people being so inspired by him. It makes me so happy. It really does.